Amid a historic spike in shootings that's overwhelming the city's police bureau, the FBI is taking the lead against gun violence in Portland. The feds heading a multi-agency partnership called the Metro Safe Streets Task Force.
This is a collaborative partnership to focus solely on investigations of gun violence.
Multnomah County District Attorney Mike Schmidt announced the task force Tuesday, along with the current U.S. Attorney for Oregon. It'll pull in officers, deputies, and supervisors from several agencies, including Portland Police, Gresham PD, and the Multnomah County Sheriff's Office, as well as agents from the FBI and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. The FBI will lead the task force, and all agencies will share resources and evidence across jurisdictional lines. Here's why Schmidt says that matters.
For example, I was talking to some deputies the other day, and they told me about a gun that they located that was that they could put at the scene of 6 different shootings based on ballistics and bullet casing testing. But those scenes span Washington and Oregon, right? And so just having the Portland Police as the only agency would not be adequate to tie in those other cases and work with other jurisdictions. It just will make us better to see the bigger picture of how these guns are moving, how the people who are using them are moving.
Even for cases specific to Portland, the partnership promises to help a strapped police bureau. The spike in shootings comes amid months of protests and historic cuts in funding by the city. Since July 1st, 115 officers have left the bureau exhausted by the job. Tuesday, at a press conference about protests, KGW asked PPB about having the feds step in on gun violence.
When everybody is communicating and it's streamlined and we can put together the tightest case possible on the criminal side, the more effective outcomes we're going to have.
But not everyone sees it that way.
I'm really worried because it takes away from my credibility.
Lionel Irving is the founder of Love is Stronger, Inc. It's a group that works primarily with young black men to try to pull them out of cycles of violence. And it's the kind of organization that the city council last week voted to devote millions of dollars to help curb shootings. Now, Irving says people are afraid the FBI's involvement means bigger federal charges will come attached to every case.
And so it makes the job a lot harder. And I'm just really worried about the ramifications of the ripple effect of this for the kids who aren't shooters, because it's only a few shooters. A lot of these kids now got guns because they're scared.
We asked Schmidt about whether this task force means federal charges will be more likely in local investigations. He said no. He also said the task force is limited strictly to gun violence, meaning they won't work on protest-related or immigration cases.
We've got a serious problem, and we've got to begin to fix that problem.
Pastor Matt Hennessy works with the neighborhoods hardest hit by gun violence. He thinks this task force is necessary to stop the carnage.
Ultimately, this has to be done, or the very city that we love and care about is going to be put at risk in a way that we're not going to be happy with.
The task force is in effect now. Officers, deputies, and supervisors from those local agencies, roughly a couple dozen total, are expected to be federally deputized this week. Maggie Vespa, KGW News.